Some of the K-State players said they remembered Xavier players laughing at the end of that game. They got back together Thursday and played a classic. Jacob Pullen with a hand on his face and a beard on his face. Kansas State up 3 at that point. Xavier doesn't call timeout. Terrell Holloway misses. Jason Love is there for the putback. Xavier down 1. 11 for Love in the game. After 2 Kansas State free throws, Xavier down 3 with the ball. Holloway going for the three-pointer gets fouled. Frank Martin can't believe it. Fouled before the shot by Denis Clemente, and then fouled during the shot. 85% free throw shooter, made all 3 of them. Tied the game at 72. He was 10 for 13 at the line. Last attempt for Kansas State. Pullen got a look, but he can't hit it. Game goes to overtime. Under a minute left in overtime. Xavier down 3. Holloway gets the screen, knocks down the shot. Game tied at 84. Ensuing possession for Kansas State. Pullen going baseline. How does he get there? 28 points for him. 2-point lead for Kansas State. Less than 10 seconds to play. Xavier down 3. Jordan, he's going to shoot that. No conscience, but he's got range. He had 32. Kansas State doesn't call timeout. Clemente brings it up. No, sorry, his time expires. Double overtime. 25 for Clemente in the game. In the second extra session, buck 10 to play. K-State down 2. Pulling for 3. 6 for 12 on threes for him. 1-point lead for Kansas State. 35 seconds to go. Game tied again. Pulling. Bang, bang, bang. Kansas State up 3. 18 seconds to go. Xavier still down 3. Do they have another miracle? Dante Jackson, ball fake, got him a look, but he can't get it. Kansas State wins it. What a game. What a finish. 101-96, the final. The first double overtime game in the Sweet 16 since 97. Pullen and Clemente, they've been an awesome 1-2 punch for K-State. They combined for 53 points in this game. They're averaging 46 together so far in the tournament. Frank Martin, Mr. Intensity, is going to get to feel his blood boil once again on Saturday.
That's March basketball at its finest right there. That's 2 teams refusing to give in, refusing for their seasons to end, and my hat goes off to Xavier.
It's a classic, you know. It was 2 teams who didn't want their season to end, man. And we could tell, you know, we didn't play our best game, and, you know, that was a credit to them. They played good defense. They made tough shots, but, you know, every time we thought the game was over with, we'd be walking to the line, and you just could see it in their eyes that they didn't want their season to end either.
It's Sweet 16 time. It's winning time, so big players kind of make big plays at that time.
I'm so happy, man, that I can even explain. But I can understand this is my last tournament, you know. I'm a senior, so I got to let everything in the court like I've been doing.
You know, I felt like tonight that eerily similar to Ali Foreman. And they landed the last punch, unfortunately. As good of a game as I've ever coached, been a part of.
It was a tough game all around, and you know, I wish we could have came on top, but they did a good job.
Question about Crawford is whether he comes back or whether he boasts to the NBA. He played in a classic. A lot of yelling in the newsroom during this one. Kansas State and Xavier combined to score 197 points, second most for a Sweet 16 game since 1985. The only game that had more was in '88 when Oklahoma beat Louisville 108-98.
Butler, the Horizon League champs, 22 straight wins. Still no Arenzi Onuaku for the Qs. Big fella out. And I think that Jim Boeheim's club may have had sloppy joes for their pregame meal because they were sloppy from the get-go. Rick Jackson, a couple bad passes there, and Scoop Jardine can't get it together. 12 turnovers in the first half. Shelvin Mack, he's going to, listen, if you want to learn how to attack the 2-3 zone, check out how Coach Stevens drew it up for Mack. He uses the high screen, finds a crease, splits it. Bulldogs up 7. More against the 2-3. It's great telestration by our crew here. Uses the high screen, slips in between the defenders, hits the jumper. Butler up 9. Mack looks like he's all world. He was in the first half. He had 14 points in the first half. Finished with 14, was just 5 of 19, 1 of 10 from 3. Butler by 10 at the break. 5 was the largest deficit that Syracuse had faced. They come out on a 15-4 run, take their first lead there. Wes Johnson, then Andy Routens, 4 of 8 from 3. Syracuse up 2. Matt Howard and Butler responds. They came back and beat Providence that time they were down 5, but will they come back down 10? And sometimes you know it's your night. This is when you knew it was Butler's night, when Willie Beasley got that to go. He called it a horse shot. Said he'd never had a shot like that before. Max shot no good, and then Beasley the tip in. Bulldogs on an 11-0 run. Syracuse. Sloppy Joes end up being their last supper. Butler pulling off the upset, 63-59. The Bulldogs advanced to the Elite Eight for the first time in school history. Hayward was 17-5 in this one. Bulldogs hold Syracuse without a point for the time the Orange went up by 4 with about 5.5 minutes left until there was about a half minute remaining. Wow. Bulldogs reached the regional finals for the first time in school history. One win from going home to Indianapolis for the Final Four. Here it is again. You can't. The Butler defense in that final 4:25, unbelievable. Every time you thought, okay, Syracuse is going to get back into it, and Butler refused to bend. They acted like they had been there before, but again, this is their first time.
I think we guarded. I think that's what we do. Whether we shot, 60% from the arc, whether we shot 30% from the arc, it was our defense that was going to carry us, and I think it did that. We made tough plays down the stretch.
We made really bad decisions with the ball, just bad decisions, bad passes, and you have to give the defensive team credit in situations, certainly with some turnovers, but I'm really at a loss.
Losing never feels good, especially at this point in the season. And for a team that had such high aspirations, I think that we're not gonna be able to see the good side of it for a while.
We've said this word over and over in Indianapolis, and that is resolve. And these guys have resolve. I mean, it's hard to measure, but they got it.
Coach Stevens looks younger than some of his players.
Yeah.
Kansas State and Butler going to play in the West region for a trip to the Final Four. You really have a contrast in styles here. K-State averaging 80 points per game. Butler holds opponents to under 60 per game. Remember, Butler riding a 23-game winning streak and one win away from playing the Final Four in their home city of Indianapolis.
Home court advantage for the Big Red, although Kentucky does travel well, and they're excited about the Cats. Lewis Dale knocking down the three-pointer. He had 17 to lead Cornell. They had a 10-2 lead, and the folks were starting to believe. But Kentucky wanted to push tempo, and they did it. Darius Miller gets the steal. John Wall leading the break. DeAndre Liggins with the finish. Put him on the line as well. Wall with 8 assists, and then nothing fuels a fast break like a turnover. Patrick Patterson with the steal. Eric Bledsoe to Wall. Kentucky, a 30-6 run to end the first half. They led by 16 at the break. Second half, Big Red not going down without a fight. Dale knocks down the 3. Cornell, the top three-point shooting team in the nation, but they were just 5 for 21 from deep in this one. That cut it to a 6-point game, though, but then Kentucky just started to have its way. DeMarcus Cousins, he had 16, and then the exclamation point from Wall. He had just 8 points. Not a great scoring night for him. He did have 7 rebounds, and Kentucky goes on to win it 62-45. They held Ryan Whitman, Cornell's scorer, their shooting guard, 3 for 10 for just 10 points. Cornell just 33% from the floor as a team, and Kentucky is moving on thanks to their defense.
We'll have more teams than the Big East left in the tournament. West Virginia going without its starting point, Truck Bryant. He's got a broken foot. UW got no points from leading scorer Quincy Pondexter in the first half, but they did get 12 points off Mountaineer turnovers. Justin Holiday there, and then Justin Holiday here. Elston Turner finds Vinoy Overton. And Washington's up on West Virginia by 2 at the half, but Bob Huggins' speech was better than Lorenzo Romar's. Joe Mazzulla, that's Truck's replacement. Half-court lob, Devin Ebanks. Mountaineers take a lead. Coach upset. His club just 9 field goals in the second half. They ended up with as many field goals as turnovers. Kevin Jones, the three-pointer, he was 3 of 4 from 3, but the team just 4 of 15. Jones finds Casey Mitchell right there. All this is part of a 20-6 run by the Mountaineers to take control of the Dogs. Mazzulla to Jones. He's pumped. And so is West Virginia. 69-56. The Truck may be parked, but the team's moving on. Wins despite 23 turnovers. 9th win in a row for the Big East Tournament champions. 30th win overall. Sets a school record for wins. Beats the mark set by Jerry West's Mountaineers back in 58-59. That West Virginia club lost the NCAA title game. This year's club needs 2 more wins to play for the title.
We've gotten so much better over the last 3 weeks to a month. It's unbelievable. I mean, and I used to tell them, you're the worst defensive team I've had in the last 10, 12 years. is we didn't help. You know, we got into guarding our man, and we didn't help. And we've just in 3-4 weeks we have become a very, very good defensive team.
We go from being the team that was picked to be last in the Big East every year because of the style of play that we had, and for the fact that we didn't recruit all these top players and top athletes and elite players, you know. And now, you know, we win the Big East tournament, and we're one game away from the Final Four. You know, I can't really complain at all. I couldn't have dreamt it better.
It's always tough when you don't win your last game and you have to look at the guys that worked so hard all year and know that this is it. It's very difficult.
A 1 versus a 2 left in the East. Imagine that. Kentucky outscoring opponents by nearly 15 points per game. The Mountaineers outscoring opponents by nearly 10. Both teams have beaten 6 ranked opponents so far this season.
Turner could not carry the Buckeyes to the Elite Eight, but man, he sure tried. Ohio State led by 3 at half. Second half, Turner turned it on. Had just 10 in the first 20 minutes. The 3 there, Ohio State up 6, and then the spin move lane hits the pull-up. Still a 6-point game. 10 minutes left. Tennessee going to try and give Turner grief. Ball gets knocked loose. It's Turner giving grief. Under 7 minutes, Tennessee down 2. Brian Williams to J.P. Prince, the old-fashioned 3. Vols take the lead. Tennessee in the paint. Prince to Wayne Chisholm. He's stronger than you. 2 minutes left. Game tied. Prince, his job was to guard Turner. And on that possession, he did. And then ensuing possession, Chisholm, who took off the bright orange headband at half, 18 of his 22 in the second half. He had a double-double, 11 rebounds. Buckeyes, Turner. Oh, man, is he fun to watch. Ohio State up 1. Next Tennessee possession. Prince. No. Brian Williams, yes, the tip-in with 32 seconds left. And then 20 seconds left. Turner drives. Kyle Madsen grabs the rebound. Bobby Mays steals it, gets foul. Said he had no doubt he'd make both free throws, and he did. Ohio State, 9 seconds left. It's Turner. Tennessee elects not to foul. And it's Turner again. But it was Prince in his mug. Ohio State coaches, look at the top of your screen. They went cuckoo looking for a foul. Did not get it. Prince appears to have gotten ball. Turner finishes with 31. Volunteers advance to their first ever Elite Eight. Prince said nobody wanted it more than him at that last possession. 76-73 your final. How about Turner? 21 of his 31 in the second half. Rest of the Buckeyes went just 3 of 16 from the field in the second half. John Diebler, no show. 1 of 7 from three-point range. Tennessee, that was no team for Ohio State to see. And Wayne Chisholm struggled from the field in the first 2 rounds, shooting under 37%. Dominated inside Friday again. Ripped off the headband at half and then ripped off 18 of his 22 in the second half. Also had 11 rebounds.
He's going to have to earn it if he's going to make that shot. After I saw Wayne, we got the switch. They didn't give him that call. I said, he's going to have to make it. So just want to contest the shot and make it as tough as possible on him.
A call could win both ways, but you know, the call didn't happen, and that's how it happened. So you can't really dwell on it anymore. You know, I think it shouldn't have came down to that certain situation.
I think people missed the boat on Tennessee's defense. It's one of the best defenses we've gone against this year, and just sort of how they used their length and the switching that they were doing was very, very effective.
Last season we lost so many close games that came down to the wire, and this year we've done a better job of winning those close games. And so to come down and to see JP get that block on the last shot, it was just like a relief.
I knew that last 10 minutes I was going to make him work no matter what. I know nobody wanted it more than I did.
I am happy. I'm proud. I'm proud to tears. I can't even begin to tell you how happy I am. But we got work to do now. And we got to prepare for a game, and we'll reflect when the season's over.
Brokeman action, the 9 seed Northern Iowa taking on Michigan State Spartans without Caitlin Lucas, who tore his Achilles. You see the Missouri Valley Conference haven't advanced to the regional final since Indiana State in '79. That Indiana State team, of course, led by Larry Bird, lost to Magic Johnson and Michigan State 75-64. Corey Lucius in the starting lineup in place of Caitlin Lucas, and he was going at it with Kajo Ohalegba. Ohalegba drives and lays it in, and then Lucius with the alley-oop to Darrell Summers, and then Lucius going to Garrick Sherman for the layup. Halekba drains a jumper with time running out in the first half. Panthers led by 7 at the half. They held Michigan State to 1 basket over the final 9 minutes and change. Second half, Spartans down 5. Lucius misses a 3. Delvin Rowe, right place, right time. Spartans cut it to a 3-point game. A few minutes later, they're up 2. Chris Allen to Summers for the alley-oop. Spartans up 4. Johnny Moran, 3 ball for his squad. Panthers down just 1, trying to get the crowd into it. Draymond Green goes to Summers. Summers had 19 points. Spartans up 47-46. Raymar Morgan, tough shot in the lane, but he gets it to go. Spartans up by 2. Then Lucius, what a shot. Lucius was a hero against Maryland. Look at the move he puts on for Oakmanex there. Panthers called timeout. Spartans with a 4-point lead. They would not surrender. Lucius with a miss there, but there's Allen. Spartans going to win it 59-52. Northern Iowa, no buckets, just 10 free throws over the final 10-22 as the Spartans put the clamp down. For Oakmanex, just 2 for 9 with 9 points. Spartans need one more win to get to their 6th Final Four in 12 years.
I just want to give credit to my teammates for having the confidence in me to go out there and play the best basketball that I can. But it's just been a great experience for me. I mean, something new, stepping in and playing 39 minutes and trying to lead my team and run the team as a point guard.
You know, it's kind of hard when you lose your floor general, you know, but we got 2 floor generals and the other one stepped up and, you know, I knew that he can do it and he's stepping up for us, and that's exactly what we need. And, it feels great to be going back to the Elite 8.
I think we enjoyed playing with each other so much that, we just didn't want this to end. I mean, later on we'll probably think of it and look back on it, but right now it's just hard just because we never wanted this to end.
I'm not sure how we did, but we found a way, and that's kind of enjoyable to find a way. So it's in some way more rewarding than the last 2. Because it's kind of, it came a little bit out of nowhere, but then with the injuries, it's really been complex.
Syracuse gone. Duke, stay tuned. Blue Devils and Purdue. Duke has advanced past the Sweet 16 once since they won the title in 01, and they did not come ready to play, or it didn't look like it at least. Kyle Singler throwing it to nobody, and then stripped by Etwan Moore, and Singler with the foul, and then Brian Zubek, turnover. Lewis Jackson going to find Jawan Johnson. Got some if you need it. Boilermakers up 2. Duke down 1, 5 seconds left in the half. Shire, 1 of 6 from 3. Rebound to Nolan Smith. He hits it. Duke has 7 field goals in the first half, 11 turnovers, and they lead by 1. Coach K's halftime speech absorbed by his squad. Singler from Medford, Oregon. He had 24 points. He was 4 of 6 from 3. And then Shire finds Smith, wing, 3. Yes, Blue Devils up 9. Shire not getting it done from outside, so he floats on the inside. He had 18. Blue Devils up double digits, and then Smith's going to finish with 15. Finish the highlight. Duke wins 70-57. Remember, they had 24 points in the first half, 46 in the second half. Purdue just 4 of 13 from 3. So Singler's now scored 20-plus points in 4 of his last 5 games. He's on a little roll. Jawan Johnson leads the Boilers with 23. Kramer goes 0 for 5 from the field. Boilermakers have not won in the Sweet 16 since beating Gonzaga in 2000. Coach K gets the Elite 8 for the 12th time in his career. It's the first time since 04. That breaks a tie with Dean Smith.
Oh, you know they love that at Duke.
For most Elite 8 appearances by a coach. Rick Pitino and Roy Williams are tied for 3rd with 9 appearances each.
I thought this was an example of a game someone doesn't lose. Yeah, we had to really win this game. Yeah, we had to really win this game because Purdue's effort was a winning effort.
We really can't relax at all. This isn't the spot we want to be still. This was a good step for us and a really tough win. I think it's really important to refocus, and really we can't enjoy these wins right now. After the season, we can look back and enjoy them, but for us, we want to keep moving forward.
It was a hard-fought game. Guys came and sacrificed some things, came out and played hard, and I would think we have nothing to be ashamed of today with our effort. Coming out to play, we came up short, and that definitely wasn't our goal, but we definitely gave a good effort.
Houston, St. Mary's, and Baylor, but mostly Baylor. This was the early game, and it was over early. Omar Samhan came in shooting 75% of the tournament, but Baylor said, not against us. 7 of 17 in this game. He had 15 points. He came in averaging 31 a game. Tweety Carter and Lacedarius Dunn, much more efficient. Dunn just kept driving until he got there. He had 23. And then Tweety Carter, and he draws the foul. He had 14. Bears up 11. Under 7 to go. Dunn with the steal, give and go, and it's gone. Carter and Dunn combined for 27 in the first half. St. Mary's entire team only had 17. Baylor led by 29 at the half. Second half, Dunn to Quincy AC for the big jam. That's really all you need to see. Baylor wins at 72-49, and they advance to the Elite Eight. It's their first Elite Eight in the modern era. They won 3 in a row in this tournament. They lost their previous 4 tournament games coming in. Dunn set a school record for points in a season. He has 682 now and a chance to score some more against Duke.
Tonight, we just have to give credit to our players. They really came out and were focused, energized, defended extremely well, and made a lot of shots early on.
That's the reason why we came here. It's the reason why we came here, to be a part of something special.
Proud of what they did this year. We told them, hey, we stunk tonight. And nobody want to play that way. We didn't want it to go that way. It went that way.
I've never been more proud of anything in my life than this team and this coaching staff. So it didn't matter how it ended. I can walk away happy and excited for them for next year. They'll be better now that they're getting rid of me and this big guy. Great coaches. They're fathers to me, and teammates that are brothers. So it's a family, ups and downs. Today was a down, but we only had 6 downs and 28 ups, so I'll take it anytime.